their vehicles, their car engines would die, and their headlights would go out. Once the object moved away, their engines could typically be restarted, and their lights would function again. This electromagnetic effect was reported by multiple independent witnesses in different locations. Project Blue Book investigated the Levelland sightings. The official explanation provided by the Air Force was that the phenomenon was likely caused by ball lightning or St. Elmo's fire, which are rare electrical weather conditions. This explanation was offered despite the fact that the weather reported in the area at the time was not conducive to severe thunderstorms typically associated with ball lightning. Many of the witnesses, including law enforcement officials who had experienced the engine interference firsthand, were dissatisfied with the Air Force's conclusion. They felt that what they had seen and experienced was far more unusual and could not be easily dismissed as a known weather event. Section 5, the Condon Report and the End of an Era. As Project Blue Book continued its work through the 1950s and 1960s, it faced increasing criticism. Many scientists, journalists, and members of the public felt that the project was not conducting truly objective or thorough scientific investigations. Some critics accused the Air Force of having a predetermined agenda to debunk UFO reports rather than genuinely explore the mystery. There were also concerns raised in the US Congress about the handling of the UFO issue. This growing pressure eventually led to a call for an independent, university-based scientific study of unidentified flying objects. In 1966, the Air Force awarded a contract to the University of Colorado to conduct such a study. This effort became known as the Condon Committee, named after its director, Dr. Edward U. Condon, a respected physicist. The committee's official title was the Scientific Study of Unidentified Flying Objects. It was given a budget of over $500,000 and about 2 years to complete its investigation. The Condon Committee reviewed historical UFO cases, including some from Project Blue Book's files, and also investigated a small number of new cases in depth. However, the committee's work was also marked by internal disagreements and controversy. The Condon Committee released its final report in late 1968. The massive document, often referred to simply as the Condon Report, concluded that further extensive study of UFOs was not likely to advance scientific knowledge. The report stated that there was no evidence to suggest that UFOs were extraterrestrial vehicles or that they represented any kind of technological development unknown to science. It also concluded that UFOs did not appear to pose a direct threat to national security. While some scientists involved with the committee disagreed with its overall negative conclusions, Dr. Condon's summary was what the Air Force focused on. Based largely on the findings and recommendations of the Condon Report, the Secretary of the Air Force announced the termination of Project Blue Book. The project officially closed its doors on December 17, 1969. The Air Force stated that 17 years of investigation had not uncovered any evidence of a threat to national security, nor any indication of advanced technology or extraterrestrial vehicles. With the closure of Project Blue Book, the US government's official public investigation into UFOs came to an end. The project's extensive files, containing thousands of case reports, were eventually declassified and made available to the public through the National Archives. Section 6, Blue Books, Enduring Legacy, Criticisms, Impact and Unanswered Questions. Over its nearly 2 decades of operation, Project Blue Book officially investigated 12,618 UFO sighting reports. According to its final statistics, the vast majority of these cases, over 94%, were eventually classified as identified. These were attributed to misidentifications of conventional aircraft, stars and planets, weather balloons, satellites, atmospheric phenomena, or hoaxes. However, there remained 701 cases that Project Blue Book itself classified as unidentified. These were the reports for which the Air Force investigators could find no conventional explanation, even after their analysis. These unresolved cases continued to fuel speculation and debate. Despite its long run, Project Blue Book has faced persistent criticism. Many researchers and UFO investigators argue that the project was understaffed and underfunded, making thorough investigations of all reported cases impossible. They contend that there was often a bias towards finding mundane explanations, even if the evidence was ambiguous. Some critics, like astronomer Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who served as a scientific consultant to Blue Book for many years, initially supported the Air Force's skeptical approach, but later became convinced that some UFO reports represented a genuine, unexplained phenomenon that deserved more serious scientific attention than the project provided. Project Blue Book undeniably had a significant cultural impact. For many years, it was the public face of the US government's response to the UFO phenomenon. Its existence confirmed that the military was taking the reports seriously, at least on some level. However, its methods and conclusions, particularly the Condon Report leading to its termination, left many people feeling that the government was either incompetent in its investigation or, more conspiratorially, actively hiding the truth about UFOs. The name Project Blue Book became iconic, often referenced in books, television shows and movies about UFOs, cementing its place in popular culture. Even though Project Blue Book concluded its work in 1969, public and even some scientific interest in UFOs, now often referred to as unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, has not disappeared. In fact, in recent years, there has been a resurgence of attention to the topic, with new reports and videos emerging from military sources. The legacy of Project Blue Book is therefore complex. It represents a significant historical effort to grapple with a persistent mystery. While it officially concluded that UFOs were not a major concern, the questions it raised, and especially the cases it could not explain, ensure that the search for answers about unidentified objects in our skies continues.